I've forgotten the name it was called. But instead of doing like individual investment for each of these sectors or companies, organizations, you can actually buy in. There's a way they called it. I can't really remember, but you can buy it that you buy
Shares,
shares in all of, yes, that you
but the
can buy it.
shares will be in group.
Yes, in group instead of individual.
Okay. Speaker, I don't know much about all this investment thing. I'm still learning as well. So she's in the best position to tell us what to do. That's why she's here. So permit me to welcome our speaker. Her name is Mrs. Darcel Jones. She's one of the Mindful Mom too. She's a branch leader and at Flank Star Bank here in Freeport. And also she has two beautiful boys, ages 3 and 6. She has served on board 3Ds aftercare in Bodwin and also volunteer her time to teach people African dance. She loves finance. She educates community and empowering our next generation with the tools needed to succeed. And you know, something so spectacular about this woman was I met her just once. And you know, when I did my presentation, she was just like, Janet, I'm keen into this. I love your vision, and that was it. Sincerely, I can say this is my second time I'm seeing her. I'm setting my eyes on her. We've only been chatting, and she's just been so lovely. So welcome with me, Mrs. Darcel, to this
Thank you.
presentation. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
So to answer the question first, you can buy stocks. There's things called ETFs, right? So those are usually where they group things together, group different stocks together, and they make up a whole thing. For example, SPY, SPY is a ticker, but SPY is made up of different stocks in that one particular stock. So that's SPY. Then you have QQQ. QQQ is usually like a text type of stock. QQQ has a bunch of different stocks, but it moves. It has different percentages of each stock. So say, for example, say it will have Tesla. It will have NVIDIA. It will have the Microsoft. It will have the Google. It will have the Amazon in there. Different percentages of them, though. But that is just one stock, QQQ, and will move together with the stock market. So if you're interested in, say you don't know, right? Say you're not somebody who trades daily. Say you're just a person who wants to just buy the stock and hold it. QQQ usually gives about 10% every year on average as far as it rising up. Now take note that the stock market does have a lot of risk, right? It has risk. It can drop. You can lose your money. All these things can happen. However, if you want to be safe, I would say it's safer to do an ETF, which is a group of stocks that's just one complete ticker. So QQQ, I personally like. SPY, I personally like. There's also VTI, which is a Vanguard stock. And VOO, so same things, a Vanguard. Vanguard, as you guys, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but Vanguard and BlackRock kind of run the US, right? So because of that, they're not going to see their money drop or go down. So to be on the safe side, tickers that you would want to look at: VOO, VTI, SPY, and QQQ, just to start. But yes, that was to answer that question. Anybody else have questions? I know somebody else was, you guys were talking for a minute.
Okay, you can start.
All right. So first, thank you guys for having me. I have I went to school to be a teacher, right? I went to school to be a high school math teacher. And when I did my student teaching, I said, oh no, I cannot do it. I cannot be a teacher. And at the time I was working in the bank. And while working in the bank, you gain so much knowledge, especially depending on the neighborhoods that you work in, right? So I worked in Cedarhurst, which is a highly orthodox neighborhood. They have a lot of money, right? They have a lot of money. So you learn different things as you network. So I took a liking to finance, and I've loved finance ever since. And hence why I'm a branch manager today. I love working in my community. I feel, especially for me, I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn. So we weren't knowledge with finance. We didn't know nothing about savings. We didn't know anything about investments, different options you have as far as investments. Because everybody think of investments, they just think of, oh, the stock market. There's different things to invest in besides just the stock market. So that's kind of a little bit of what I'm going to talk about today. Let me see. Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. Alrighty. I'm looking for the button. I'm on.
Yeah, there's an arrow pointing up beside the ant. That's where to share the screen.
Okay. Let's see. Select a tab to share. Oh, maybe I have to open it in my tab here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I was here. I didn't know this time was 10 o'clock and not 10:30.
No problem.
This is what I want to share. Let's see. Window. There we
Or
go.
if you have your link, you can share the link in the chat. Then I share for you from here.
Okay. What? I have a link. Let me see.
Do you have it in PDF?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's in PowerPoint.
Oh, I don't have PowerPoint on mine.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just read it from here. It's fine. Don't worry. All right. So what every mom should think about investing. So before investing, you have to really ask yourself, what is it that you really want to achieve, right? What's your purpose? What's your goal? Is it to create generational wealth? Is it to get a little extra money? Is it to secure your children's future? So those are the type of questions you should be asking yourself first. And it really depends on your goals, your timelines, your risk tolerance, because risk is a big thing. Risk is a big thing. So before investing, ensure that you have an emergency fund first, right? You need to make sure we have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved first, right? We don't think that sometimes, yes, we need to do that before we start just boom, going hit the floor and investing things, but we should start to save 3 to 6 months of savings first, just for unexpected costs. Next thing is your retirement accounts, right? Retirement accounts, if you're working, your job might offer a 401k. That's an option, right? An IRA, either traditional or Roth IRA. 401ks, your jobs, sometimes they match, right? What you put in, they might be up to like 6%, maybe 10%, they may match, but that's a great way to get free money, right? So 401ks definitely contribute to that. Take advantage of that if your job does offer that. IRAs is great for stay-at-home moms, especially if you have like a spousal income. Working moms can save for retirement with that's a tax benefit as well. If you do a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, those are tax benefits as well. Education savings for kids. So you have a 529 plan. That's where they offer tax-free growth of your money. And it's, if you can use the money for qualified expenses for your child's school. Then you also have custodial accounts, right? So these allow you to save and invest on behalf of your child for any future need. It can come as an asset for them when they reach of age, but it's a huge tax benefit for you. Then we have brokerage accounts. So brokerage accounts, it's a taxable investment account, but it gives you the flexibility to invest in stocks, bonds, ETFs that we just talked about, mutual funds. And the big thing too, crypto, which is a big, big, big conversation, especially since we have Mr. Trump in office in the US. So yes, crypto is a big thing you can get with brokerage accounts. Then we have real estate. Real estate is a great investment, right? People do Airbnbs. That's a big topic, right? That's a great way to get into real estate. You can do rental properties, REITs. That's when you invest in the stock market and you get pretty much like a dividend from it, right? So there's also real estate investment trusts. There are those as well. You can get those as well. There's crowdfunding platforms. That's when a group of people invest in one project, right? So say there's different owners of that one particular building. But that's a great way to generate some passive income. Then you have robo-advisors. So robo-advisors are for beginners or busy moms, right? Robo-advisors is like a Betterment or Wealthfront. It offers low costs, it's automated investments, portfolios, and it's tailored to your goals, right? So those are called robo-advisors. And some of the robo-advisors, there's different apps that are there. I'm not really too familiar with those apps, but I do know there are some apps that they have that are great, that will actually tailor things to your specific needs. Say if you are a high-risk person, they have a portfolio set for you because you're a high risk. You have a goal of such amount. You put this amount in every time. They have different things for that. Then they have ones for ones that are low. Say if you like, I don't want to lose my money. I'm a very stable person. I don't want to lose any money. I'm very conservative. They have those. It's called robo-advisors. Then you have low-cost index funds and ETFs. Those are great for like long-term investing, right? They offer diversification and low fees. So examples I have here is S&P 500. I was going to talk about that, which we talked about already. The S&P 500 ETFs. And then you also have market funds, right? The other option is dividend stocks. So dividend stocks is, say you buy a stock and they're offering a dividend. So a dividend is a percentage each quarter of that potential stock that you have. So say I buy Tesla. Let's use Tesla. We talked about Tesla already. Say I buy Tesla, and say Tesla's giving a 3% dividend. So 3% of the growth that the stock has made, Tesla will give you that back to you each quarter. Now you can use that to pay your bills. You can use that to put into whatever else you want to do. But that's an option. It just takes a longer time to buy those stocks over time, and you have to be patient and hold it, right? And granted, with those things too, sometimes the company can change, saying, okay, well, the percentage we're giving out this quarter is different. And it's always based on how the stock actually performed or how the company performed. For example, let's say Apple. If Apple doesn't perform great, you're not going to receive much of a return on that dividend stock. But these are great avenues to start and get started in. You don't need a lot. Eventually, over time, you will get to have a lot, and then you'll see the returns start coming in from dividend stocks. And those are great. Those especially are great when it comes to your children. If you invest in those dividend stocks and leave it there over time, it's going to keep growing, keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. They'll have money, depending on, especially if you're patient and leave it in there and just keep adding on to it. Great opportunity for children. Let's see, we have small business ventures. If you're an entrepreneur, Consider investing in your own side hustle or small business that aligns with your interests and lifestyle. You can also go out and buy a business. There are a lot of people that are looking to retire. And especially I've noticed in the bank, people are retiring and their children don't want their business, but their business is pretty profitable. Some people see their business as it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of patience. However, business is an opportunity and business is a way to get into. You can go and buy them. You can go and start your own. Just do a lot of research. That's all. Then we have health savings accounts. Health savings accounts are great. Those are great tax benefits, especially if you have them for your job or even if you don't. For your taxes, you can put, depending on, if it's for your family, I think mine was like $6,000 per year, but those are great options as well. Does anybody have any questions so far?
I would suggest maybe if we have questions, we can put it in the chat, spending the time so that when you finish, we'll just discuss together. So maybe in the next 10, 15 minutes, we can start having questions and discuss. Yeah.
Okay. So other options too is life insurance. Invest in a team or a whole life insurance policy to provide financial security for your family in case of unforeseen circumstances. They also have things called IULs in life insurance. And not a lot of people talk about it, but you would have to find the proper person to set that up, because most people that are licensed to provide life insurance, they don't like to do it. And the reason they like to do it is because the commission for them is not good, I would say. But if you find the proper person and you push the fact that you want to know about IULs, they will do it. They have to do it. They can't deny the service. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Personal development, invest in your skills, your education, certifications, right? The job market is changing. Everything now is about tech or some software engineer, different type of blockchain. Those are type of opportunity that's going to be going around right now. So definitely like freshen up on your skills, and that is an investment, right? So although we don't see it as an investment, that is an investment because we're spending our money to learn a new skill. So tips for moms new to investing: start small, right? Learn the basics, automate your investments, and focus on your long-term goals. So especially with automating your investments, right? For example, for me, I take a certain percentage of my check and I automatically put it towards the stock market. Or I take a certain percentage of my check and automatically put it into crypto. And I just let it go. I don't see it. It's not there to me, but I had it set up so that way every paycheck, money comes out, goes in, right? So this way I can secure my future and my children's future as well. So questions to ask yourself before you begin your investment journey, right? So a couple of things you got to ask yourself. What's your primary goal, right? Are you focused on retirement, saving for kids, education? Are you buying a home, starting a business, or something else? Your timeline. When do you need to access this money, right? Are you thinking of a short term, which is like 1 to 5 years, medium term, which is 5 to 10 years, and then the long term is 10 plus? Then you have, what's your monthly budget, right? How much are you able to set aside each month for investments? I usually say 10% of whatever I make per every 2 weeks. That's going towards investments. There was times that I had it at 25%. That's why they have children, but now you have children, sometimes you got to make a little adjustments. But yes, now it's 10% of whatever I make is going towards my investments. Your risk tolerance. Do you prefer safer, lower risk investments, or are you comfortable with higher risk options for potentially greater returns, right? Just because, and sometimes we see this, especially because I'm also a day trader. You see everyone else say making great amount of money, right? You say, oh, they're making this great money. They're making thousands, 100,000, 10,000, right? And we're like, how can I get to that point? But if slow and steady wins the race, right? Some people have a higher risk tolerance, right? They can go ahead and just take $1,000, $5,000 and put in the stock market and day trade. And when they do that, they get a great return. And you're like, oh, how come I didn't make that money? No, slow and steady wins the race. Everything for myself is 10%. If I day trade, and there's different traders, right? There's a day trader, somebody who trades every single day. We look at the market every day. We just study that chart from 9:30 to 4, and we're going in to see if we can make any money in the stock market. Then there's people who are swing traders. That's a swing trader, someone who trades and they swing the stock option overnight, right? Or it could be maybe not even overnight. It could be a month. It could be 2 months. It could be 3 months, 6 months. Depends on whatever it is. So there's different type of traders, right? And it also depends on how much money you put in to the market as well, depending on how much you're going to make. But my goal is 10%. That's how I look at it. If I make 10% for the day, I'm great for the day. So let's see what's next. We also have, something's in the way. Okay, your current financial situation. Do you already have savings? Do you already have a retirement account? And do you have debt to consider? And your level of involvement. Do you want hands-off approach, or are you open to managing investments yourself? Not everyone knows where to start, but your best bet to start is see a brokerage. Go see a brokerage or go see a financial consultant. They can start you off well. Once you start to understand and you watch videos, you read books, and you want to become a trader yourself, or if you want to, say, manage your investment portfolio yourself, you can do that. But always know to start small first, right? Go into your banks, wherever you bank at, there should always be a financial consultant or a financial advisor there. And once you go in there, just tell them, okay, this is my plan. This is what I want to do. How do I start? They should be able to walk you through it, and it should be free of cost. At least I do at my bank. I work at Flagstar in Freeport. We do everything for the most part free of charge. We have a financial consultant there every Friday. He's an amazing guy. He sits down and he speaks to a lot of people. He has the young ones and older ones, and he does a phenomenal job. He really sits down and breaks everything down as to what you need to get started, what the game plan is, the 5-year, 10-year plan. He really sits down and breaks that down with you in order for you to start. So if anything else, anybody have any questions?
Yeah, we have some questions here. And please, if you have question or comments, maybe we should take that first. You can signify by raising up your hand before I read this. If you have any question or comments or clarification, I know she has mentioned a lot of options for us. So please, let's feel free to talk. Maybe you're into a particular investment, you want to consider some other aspects, please, let's talk. Okay. I'm not sure. Pending the time, we have some questions there, and I have some questions as well. Okay. Are there applications you can advise for crypto trading? I see a lot of people lose money. That's the first question. Maybe we take that, then we have another question.
So you want to know what application you can buy crypto in?
Yes.
So, okay, so there is Coinbase. Coinbase is a good one. There is one, Binance is another one. Bybit is another one. There's a bunch of different apps. I personally like Coinbase. Okay. I like Coinbase, right? Coinbase is very user-friendly. You will find, I'm sure people have heard like these meme coins that are out there. The meme coins is very risky, right? It happened last weekend. Trump had his own meme coin. It started at like 18 cents and went all up to like $72, and now it's back down, right? So, and especially with crypto is 24/7. They do not shut down. I have not seen them shut down. They just don't. That's not what they do. It's 24/7. 24/7. It's always going, always going, always going. But Coinbase definitely. And then what you want to do is also get a wallet. So when you buy Coinbase, okay, so you can look at Coinbase as like, I'm going to the bank, I'm depositing my money in the bank, which is Coinbase, right? I'm diversifying my coins, right? But in a sense, what the whole point of crypto is, you're supposed to have control over your own coins. So what you would have is called a wallet. A wallet is just for you. You don't want to share that wallet with nobody. You don't want to share that code. Crypto it's a gift and a curse. If you really think about it, honestly. It's great for where they're trying to let it go. However, if it's not regulated, it might be a little bit of a problem. But you want to get a wallet. Now, different wallets you can get. There's cold wallets, and there's wallets also on the internet, right? MetaMask is a good one that people use. Phantom, I know some people buy actually coins. They bought the Trump coins on Phantom. But then the real ones I like to use are the cold wallets. You can find those online, and you would link your Coinbase account to that wallet, and that way the money that you have in Coinbase, you transfer over to your wallet and you hold it in your wallet. The cold wallet, you do not want to lose. Do not ever lose it, because only you have that cold wallet. So those are different things you can use.
To me, though, I don't know much about crypto, but I've seen so many people, relating with this question that they always lose money. I even have someone that is so close to me, he lost 5,000, like all of a sudden. He joined a group. I think maybe they saw the group online and he joined. When he told me about it, I was like, why can't you just put little into the account and see if you can withdraw first before you put all this money into it? Because I'm suspecting these people are scam. Or he was just like sluggishly went into it and over $5,000.
Yeah, no, it happens. It happens to people in my family as well. It's scammers. Or what they're doing is meme coins. So meme coins is quick. It's really for the person who created that coin. They know what they're doing, right? They put the money in. They open this coin. The coin started, for example, let's use Trump, for example. That coin started at 18 cents. Actually, I think it started lower than that, probably 2 cents. But when I was aware of it, was at 18 cents. I'm like, oh, I'm not joining this. I can't be bothered, right? Because what happened was it went from 18 cents. The following day when we woke up in the morning, it was like $30-something. The following day was at $72. Then it came back down. Let me see where it's at now. But it came back down. And the last time I checked, it was at $30-something again. But that's what happens because people end up buying at the wrong time. So those who bought, say, at $30 and it ran to $72, now it's back at $30, you didn't make no money, right? Or if you was one of those people like, oh, it's going. It's called FOMO, fear of missing out. You see that it's going, you're like, oh no, it's not going to go anymore. Say you bought it at $50, right? And then it goes to $72. And now, right now, it's actually at 27.73. It dropped back down to 27. You lost money because you bought it in at $50. Now it's $27. You lost your money. So you got to be careful of. There's people that, right? They have discords or groups. I always suggest you do your own research, right? Do your own research. If you're looking at a coin and people are like, oh, do this, it's great. I hear what people are saying all the time, right? It's great. Everybody's saying, oh, this is going to be the next thing going. They get you. Do your own research. If you're hesitant about it, and if somebody says, "Oh, well, send me this information," don't somebody know information. That already is a scam right then and there. Do your own research. Look up the coins. Look up what they're doing. I know a lot of people talking about XRP. Do your research before you buy it. If you hear, okay, XRP, great. You hear XRP is doing great. However, what is XRP going to be used for? What's the benefit of XRP? What's the benefit of Bitcoin, right? What's the benefit of any of these coins? You have to do your research before you purchase anything. Don't just blindly go in because somebody says, or you hear the media talking about, oh, this coin, or you hear everybody talking about this coin. Do your research. You have to do your research. And then when you do your research and you have your own knowledge and conviction of why you're buying a coin, you feel comfortable buying that coin yourself and holding it. And remember, it's not a get rich quick scheme. This is a long-term investment, right? Those meme coins are get quick rich schemes. The longer one, which is like XRP, Cardano, Algo, those are long-term investments. You hold those for a while because you see, when you do your research, you see what they're being used for.
So for the Coinbase, so Coinbase is more, will Coinbase trade on your behalf, or you have to trade yourself?
You have to trade yourself. Coinbase, when I use Coinbase just to purchase my coins. Purchase my coins and transfer it to my wallet.
Okay, so how do you now sell? I know it's another class entirely, though. I'm just...
Yeah, so how do you sell what from my wallet?
Yeah.
Well, I then transfer it back to Coinbase and I would sell to USDT because that's supposed to be the United States dollar, right? That's what I use. Or depending on where I'm at, I think another one's going to be RLUSD. That's another Ripple dollar that's going to be used. So that's what I would sell it to if I want to get the cash out. And then from there, I transfer to my bank.
I have some comments in the chat before I go to the next question. Okay, is a question here. This person is asking, if, for example, I want to sell a product that people are selling already, how do I do my pricing? Okay, this is more of pricing, especially if it's a product I want to bring from Nigeria.
How do you do pricing? So when I had my hair company, I used to sell hair products when I first started with my entrepreneur things. So you just have to, it depends on how much you plan to make, right? Also, and make sure you include your taxes, right? Because taxes is a big thing. Your packaging, how much it costs you to make the product first. Let's start with there. How much it costs to make the product? How much did it cost to package that product? How much is it going to cost you to ship that product if you're going to be shipping, or you're going to be doing it? I think she said she's going to be shipping it, right?
Yeah, he's shipping.
Right. So you got the shipping and also the taxes, because different states is different taxes. So you got to have all that in there. And then what do you plan to benefit from it? So usually when I did it, I used to split it 4 ways. So one for the business, one for myself, one for my business partner, one for the savings. That's how I split the product, pretty much. That's how much I want to make sure I made enough. And that number, I can't tell you the times 2 and times 3. It's based on what you think it's worth, right? Because there could be so many different, for example, I love shea butter, right? Shea butter, best friend. So I would make, I would say for your body, for your hair, different ones, right? And depending on what ingredients I put in there, like if I put almond oil in, or if I put sunflower oil in, the price of that is different. So you would have to pretty much base it off of that. And then whatever you think the product is worth. There's so many shea butter products out these days. Some could be for $25, some could be for $8. Wherever you see feasible in between there,
Yeah.
You feel like it's more, you feel like it's less. That's really just how you would figure it out. Just as long as you make profit. That's the main goal. Make your profit.
Yes, and in addition to that, because I have experience with, especially with bringing things from Nigeria, and I noticed so many Nigerians, they make this mistake because of the currency exchange. When you buy something, let's say 1 naira, I've seen someone, well, imported airdrop to United States. So when the person got here and maybe she was telling me, oh, I'm going to sell this for $20, that at least let me just sell it and let it go. I now sat her down. I said, $20? Why are you selling this for $20? She said, of course, I bought it for approximately, doing the calculation back to Nigeria, she bought it around $5. Like in quotes,
Right.
from Nigeria. And I said, now, your minimum wage is not the same thing with Nigeria. 1. 2, did you calculate the shipping cost? Did you calculate if you are going to get a shop for it? If you have a sales rep, did you put all those into consideration? And she just opened her mouth and started looking at me. I said, that's you are just doing a free business.
Right.
That's free will. She was like, really? Yes. I said, that is free will. 1, you have to do all your costing. When you do all your costing, you put everything in place, all the expenses. This place is not like Nigeria that you get free electricity.
Right.
Everything is free. You can call your cousin to come and help you go and drop it for customer. It's not like this here. Even if you want to send your child to go and deliver, you will pay. Nothing goes for free. So you have to put all this into consideration, and you will at least multiply by times 3 of the cost, times 3. Then you can now do your conversion, whatever. But you putting that conversion in your mind, you are running at a loss.
Right.
You just realize you are making money, but you are not making profit.
And don't forget the exchange rate too.
Yes, the exchange rate. You are not making any profit at the end of the day. So you're not, oh, it's cheap. People will now be rushing you because they believe it is cheap, but you're just going to Nigeria, bringing it and dropping it on their table for free.
Right.
So with this pricing thing, I think you understand, and I can spend some time with you. We need to do a business plan.
Right.
On this. It's far beyond you get the products and you start selling, you start putting it on the shelf to sell. So please, you can get in touch with me, and I put it in the chat as well. If you want to join our WhatsApp group, kindly click the link above to join our WhatsApp group. We have weekly sections. Secondly, I lost over 10 million to crypto. Oh, so sorry about that. At the same time, my colleague sponsored his masters, the UK, with Bitcoin earnings. Yeah, that's life. That's life. So if you have questions, please put it in the chat on the Q&A section. We really want to make this interactive. Investment is very, very important. So the second question, REIT, do you have reliable application to do this?
I actually have not invested in REITs, REITs. I have not invested in those, mainly because I myself have my own real estate and invest in real estate itself. So I've never actually looked into that one, but I can find out. I have a bunch of friends who actually do, and I will send it to you, Janet, so that way you can share it with the group.
Okay.
Or I'll just post it in the group.
Oh yeah, feel free to.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free. So this REIT, is it like Fundrise? Because I came across
something like that.
Oh, okay.
But there's different also stocks that do have that, and there's different companies that has it. So there's also crowdfunding. So especially if you want to get into that real estate type of ordeal, there's different avenues. But like the person was saying, a reliable one, because some of them are scams. So yeah.
Okay. So because I'm still a little bit confused about this this REIT thing, and if you get a house that you really want to like buy, on the go, maybe starting from a condo. Which one is more,
To start from,
to start from?
condos and co-ops, you never get to. So here's the thing with condos and co-ops. Condos and co-ops, to sell it, it goes to a board, especially in the US, right? It goes to a board. So you're not really passing down generational wealth through condos and co-ops, right? That's just, you got to sell to some. Excuse me 1 minute. Yes, Cameron? Okay, go tell daddy, okay? Thank you. Look, of course, my little one wants us to be a part of everything. So the condos and co-ops you can't really pass down, because unless you have that person listed on your condo or co-op as like when you go to sign at closing and things, I believe so. But from my understanding, it's hard to do. You can't just add somebody. So say if somebody passes away, you can't just go and say, okay, well, my granddaughter was here, or it doesn't work like that. So the best way I would say to get involved in passing down, or even to get started, do a duplex. Right. So your first house, I know we all want to go for a single family route, but a duplex, the benefit, I can speak to it because, for example, you live on one floor, someone else is living on another floor, right? They live on the other floor, and when you go to do your mortgage, they count that income as if it's your income. So say you didn't have enough, right? And you look at a house, and most of these houses we know, especially in the US, they're expensive these days. But a duplex, they will count that second floor, especially as you're going to rent it out, as a part of your income, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. So that's great. And if you're a first-time home buyer, they have FHA loans. You only got to put down 3.5%, 5%. It's amazing. So definitely look into getting a duplex, a triplex, or
multifamily.
Do multi-families first. Do not go for the single family first. They count those floors or how many ever multi-family house. They go up to 4. The maximum due for a first-time home buyer is 4. They'll put that as your income. So that's great to start in real estate. And from there, you start, and then you get another one. You rent them out, get another one, until you get to your single family home. Your single family home be paid off or be paid for based on the rent that you're getting from the other rentals. So if you really want to, if you want to start off, they say you start with what's it called, a quadplex. I'm not sure what's the correct term is, but start with the 4 family home if you can find one. It's very rare to find 4 family homes, especially in New York. I haven't seen them. But 4 families, then go down to 3 family, then go down to a duplex, and then get your single family. That's
okay. Wow. What about someone that already have that is not a first-time home buyer? Are there benefits for people that really don't want that their eyes is now opening to real estate?
There's always different things. You can do a regular conventional loan. You can do what is it called? A DSCR loan. There's different loans that we have, especially I can speak for Flagstar that we have with us. And even being a real estate investor, there's different loans. You can go through the private investor route. They don't really care too much. Not saying they don't care too much about your credit score, but they do. They just have a little bit of a higher rate, but the turnaround time is quick. That paperwork you have to do, you don't got to do it with a private investor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we'll have to. Okay, we have some comments here. Mothers, please, let's talk. I have some comment. Okay, wow.
So,
Thanks
sorry,
for
I
this.
just wanted to comment on that last point. Thank you so much, Darcel. Sorry, I don't know if
Yes.
Darcel. So for me, I'm in the UK. So I think what you refer to condo are, for example, like service apartments. Is
Yes.
that what you mean by
Yeah.
condos?
Yes. It's a type of apartment, pretty much, but you own it. So in the US, we have it where you actually own a condo is a part of still owning a part of real estate. But there's usually like the HOA boards that you got to pay into those fees, and it's harder to pass down.
Mm, mm, okay. Any other question? Any other question? We are not talking. Okay. Another question is here. In relation to moving the condo to other names, generational wealth, won't that vary per state rules?
Correct. I live in New York, so I can tell you about New York. New York is not. Mm-mm. New York is very hard, very, very hard. I'm not sure how it works in other states, but I more so go for the actual building itself. I don't go for condos and clubs, so I can't really speak to it. But from my understanding, and especially in New York, it's difficult to pass that on.
Mm. Oh, so if I buy a condo now, I can transfer it to my children?
No, unless they are on, because if you are in a condo that has HOA, they have different rules. You actually have to sell it, and then
Wow.
I tried that in Valley Stream where I live, and it was the HOA is a problem.
Wow, that's serious. Okay, I live in Massachusetts. It's easy. That's why I asked. Compliance
Okay.
rules, right?
Got it.
Okay, so that means we have to check with
Without state.
law state. Okay, to do that. Okay. Do we have any other question? Any other question? Okay, me, I always have question when it comes to investment because my hair is always open when it comes to investment. For the robo advisor that you spoke about, that you said is advisable for stay-at-home moms, can you expatiate more on that?
Sure. So they have different programs where they actually like mirror whatever it is that you want. So for example, if you want to be a high risk taker or a low risk, they ask you a bunch of questions once you sign up for this program, and they will do the trades for you, or they do the investments for you. They put you into different things. But the same way how you can do that, you can also walk into a bank and the banker will do that for you, especially in the US. So that really, those are what's called robo advisors. But they also have there's apps, right? There's apps now that do that for you now. Even if you start off small with something like Cash App, they have investment options as well. But now there's a big app popping up. Like if I go on social media, there's an app that pops up, and that's actually a robo advisor where they actually mirror what the big investors are doing, like Nancy Pelosi, whatever she's investing in. They mirror those. Those are what's called like robo advisors, where they mirror what someone else is doing, but they also are very conservative. They have different levels: conservative, high risk, low risk. So,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, robo advisor. Yeah. Okay. So, in conclusion of today's section, we are far behind the schedule. Do we have any question before we leave?
Yeah, I
Yes,
do
ma'am.
have a question. Thank you so much. I do have a question in relation to investing in fixer uppers. Could you talk much more about that? If someone wants to start with that, how can you start investing in fixer uppers? And does it even make sense at all?
it does. If you invest in a fixer upper, right? It depends on what your end goal is. Like if you see a house that's broken down, you fix it up, you can sell it or you can rent it out, right? Most people that do fixer uppers, they usually just sell them because they end up putting equity into the home once they fix it up, and then they sell it, they get the cash, they go into the next project. So that's usually what most people do, especially when it comes to that. Now, the easiest way to do these things is you can look for foreclosed homes. You can look for those that are on an auction, right? It's owned back by the bank, right? So you can look for those. You can even drive around your neighborhood, right? And you can see the ones that, like, especially in where I live, you can see the grass is high. I've been in an incorporated village, so the grass is not supposed to be high. We're supposed to make sure our grass is cut. So we have the lawnmowers come. You see the grass high, there's windows missing, or there's wood over the windows. You look for those addresses. You write those down. You go down to your county and ask to see if those are foreclosed. They have lists. The foreclosed list, they have them. You might have to pay a little money to see them, or you might not. But yes, that's where you can start at. You start in your neighborhood. Start your neighborhood, driving around. Depends on where you live, because I know the houses are pricey right now. But yes, that's where you start.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other question? I guess it's Mr. Adigbin Rose and all. Do you still have question?
Sorry, it's not Mr. It's the
Oh,
Mrs.
sorry.
I did actually check the name. It's mine. I wasn't sure. Sorry, it's a very
Oh.
quick. I know you're not based in the UK, but you mentioned that there are some businesses online who they want to sell, but because the owner of the business are maybe they are quite old and the children are just business, that we can find them online. I know maybe you're speaking from experience because of where you're based, but the site where these businesses are found, are there like a site where different states, countries put these businesses, or you just go online and search for businesses? So I just want to know.
There are different sites. I'll post them in the group.
Okay.
So that way you can see them. But I'm not sure if they are UK based. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know that most of them are US, because that's where I am. But I can find out if you were looking for it specifically in the UK.
Okay, thank you. Thanks
You're
so much. Quite interesting. I've learned so much from this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think I saw another aunt. I'm not sure if it was Taiwo Taylor. I saw that hand. It was quick. Any other question before we go?
Yeah, I do have a question. Do you have any idea on Airbnbs, investing in Airbnbs, how that works out and every other thing?
Sure. So Airbnbs, you personally, starting with a apartment, not necessarily going for a house first, is best. What you would do is you call the main office for whatever building it is you want to start. They have rentals, whatever, and ask them, do you allow subletting? Because that's pretty much what you're doing. You're subletting. And you can specifically ask if they do Airbnbs, if they allow Airbnb in their building. They do, you're great. You're golden. You can go ahead and start. But the reason why I would say to start with the buildings is because if something goes wrong, right, in that building, for example, this is great for if it's far off. If there's something wrong with the toilet, the water's not hot, something needs to get fixed in the apartment, you don't have to be there, right? You don't have to go all the way or be there to fix the problem. They can just come in, and it's the apartment complex's responsibility to make sure it's fixed, usually not the person who's in the apartment. So that's why I would suggest starting with apartment buildings first, as those are pretty much the way to go, especially with Airbnbs. And once you go in there, you make it to how you want. You can get a property manager to run the business for you. Make sure you always have a cleaner on hand. You can find a cleaner on what is Fiverr. There's different apps, and make sure you're able to put on a padlock, not a padlock, one that use the numbers or whatever, a code, because then you don't have to give somebody a physical key to get in and out the apartment. You can change the code, not even being there. So Those are the type of things you look for, especially with Airbnb investments.
Thank you. Another question, spending the time. I remember something I had. New York is becoming strict with Airbnb. How far that is true?
It is. They don't like the small, I would say the short stays. They want the 30 days and plus stays. So it's hard to do. It's hard to do any type of investments really in New York, even when it comes to being a real estate investor or, real estate owner. It's hard to get rid of a tenant if a tenant doesn't pay on time. You got to do 6 months before you can send them to court. Then you got to wait another 6 months to get them evicted. It's a long process. You can be a whole year paying your mortgage by yourself. So New York is pretty hard, especially if you have that. But the best way to go around that is to get a good property manager.
Oh, okay. So aside New York, if I don't want to invest in New York, what other state is more friendly?
Ohio is great, amazing. I love Ohio.
Ohio. But it's far.
It is, but that's why you have a property manager. So with the property manager, you pay the property manager 10% of whatever the rent is. And they get paid every month that, that person pays that rent.
Okay.
So it becomes, if they're an aggressive property manager, they're going to make sure they have somebody in that apartment that's paying their rent on time, because if that person's paying their rent, that property manager ain't getting paid.
Yeah. That's good.
If it's dormant, they can't get anything.
Oh, okay. So if I want to go to Ohio to invest now, so it will be advisable, I guess, like the duplex, multifamily that you were talking about. Oh, okay. So for the mortgage thing, if I want to invest in that, I will still go through the process of how I got my first house, approval, income.
Right. And if you want to get, where you really should do it, especially with real estate investing, you should have a business. You should have a business.
Oh, I should have a business aside.
Right, because you don't want, if God forbid something happens, you don't want them to sue you personally. Right? They can sue your LLC. They can only get whatever is in that LLC.
Okay, so I would register the property as an LLC. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Right. So that is a completely different. It's not really different. But the best thing is to get an LLC for that business, for that property, and list that property under the LLC. I would not put it in my personal name for the simple fact that if you get sued, something happens, that snows, they'll come after everything that you own, not everything that the LLC owns. So that's why you want to make sure you have it in the LLC. Now, some people do it differently, where they have a bunch of properties in one LLC, or they have it where, like how I have it, each property has its own LLC. I'm conservative like that. So you can't get access to all the properties, but each one has its own.
So like how many LLC can one have?
They're unlimited. There's no.
So I will have to start filing different taxes. Is that it?
Yeah. But you have a good accountant that,
that's a lot of work.
It is, but like I said, your property manager has a lot of your documents together. You also have your accountant, right? If you have a good accountant, it's beneficial. It protects you, right? You don't want, especially, it depends on how many houses you have, or how many properties you have. It really depends on what's benefit to you, but I don't want anybody coming after any of my
properties.
No, yeah. And I don't want, and honestly, I don't want nobody else knowing that, okay, I own this property. I own that. I don't want them knowing that, I want them. This is what you know that I have. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It saves you at the end of the day. Wow. Thank you,
Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. She's actually a mortgage expert. Thank you so much for this morning. I hope we've all taking all questions for a few seconds. Any question to round up? Any question to round up? Okay, Mrs. Adebenro, you're welcome.
Thank you. Me again for the last question. Would you recommend investing based in UK and investing in Airbnb outside the UK?
Yeah. I'm actually looking to, my husband's from Jamaica, so I'm looking to do Airbnb in Jamaica. That's the next project. So it's, yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned some, like you should have a property, is it a property manager or property something to look after those property that you don't physically have to be there to run things, but do you have to now register the business here in the UK? For example, if I'm doing something in Ohio, do I have to register it here or I have to register it in Ohio and stuff like that before I can, get those business rolling?
You can register a business anywhere.
Perfect.
Because you can use I forgot what the term is called, but you can register a business anywhere.
Okay.
I have my business, some of my business is registered in Delaware. I'm in New York. I have them registered in Wyoming. I'm in New York. Doesn't matter where you register it.
Great. I've got to go to now. I'll look for you. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Any other question? Can I link up with the speaker? Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Yes. There's my email. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. And if you want to get access to the speaker, she's on the group chat as well. I can tag contacts there, so it's easier for you to get in touch with her. Thank you. And if you are yet to join our WhatsApp group, you can check the link above to join the WhatsApp group. Really look forward to have you in our group. Next week, we have another section, and it's going to be as interactive as this as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I still remain my humble self. I'm Oluwadunsin Ogunleye. So many people call me Janet anyway, but I prefer that Oluwadunsin. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Darcel, for today.
No problem.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So see you next week. Thank you. Bye.